The phone buzzed on the kitchen counter. Her name lit up the screen, and I froze. The clock said 11:03 p.m., late, but not surprising. I answered with a cautious, "Hey." Nothing. Just thick, unmoving silence, then a faint click. I stared at the phone as my chest tightened. She'd been drifting away for weeks now, moving through our home like a ghost I could see but never reach. But tonight felt different, intentional. Her friends had pushed her into this absurd idea. Just ignore him for a month, they insisted. Give him space. Let him worry. So I didn't call. I didn't text. I didn't push back. I responded with pure, deliberate nothingness. During that first week, I watched quietly as our apartment turned into a museum of everything missing. Her coffee mug sat untouched in the sink. Her toothbrush leaned slightly out of place. Traces of her presence lingered like a shadow I didn't want to examine too closely. I ran my fingers along familiar surfaces, looking for answers. A picture that had been moved, a faint scent out of place, anything. Every detail whispered that she was somewhere else, even when she was physically here. Then came subtle shifts, small enough to seem innocent. Her phone flipped face down. Her laugh a little too bright when she read a message as I walked by. A hint of perfume that didn't belong to her. I told myself I was imagining things. Love makes you see monsters in corners that aren't there. I rationalized. I excused. I hoped. But the silence, my chosen silence, was teaching me to observe. By week 2, the first undeniable sign appeared. A coffee cup in the living room trash, rim stained with lipstick. Not her shade. Not hers at all. I stared at it, heart hammering, throat dry. She walked in humming, completely unaware. I said nothing. I didn't confront her. I let the cup sit there like a quiet accusation. Then her friends started texting me. "You doing okay?" they'd ask. But under their concern, I heard amusement, excitement. They wanted to show a meltdown. Instead, I gave them emptiness. No anger. No pleading. No drama. Just silence. By week 3, the apartment carried a faint trace of someone else. Cologne. Cheap. Unfamiliar. My logical mind tried to dismiss it, but my instincts didn't waver. I walked past her pretending to watch TV, listening to the soft tap of her heels across the bathroom floor. She flashed me a smile. Wide. Too wide. And I answered with a flat nod. The quiet between us stretched thin, tight as wire. I began leaving tiny clues that I knew. A photo angled slightly backward. A glass wiped clean. She noticed once, narrowing her eyes as if searching my face for a reaction. I offered none. The unspoken tension became a game, and I was suddenly the one in control. Then came the night everything cracked. I came home early, pretending a meeting had been canceled. The apartment was dark, but I could hear her laugh, soft, familiar, blended with a man's voice. When the kitchen light snapped on, she spotted me first. Her face drained, panic flickering too late. I stood still, hands in my pockets, breath tight but steady. The man, someone I recognized from parties, froze as guilt washed over him. I didn't say a word. My silence hit harder than shouting ever could. She tripped over her excuses. "It's not what you think," she insisted, voice trembling. The man muttered apologies and slipped out. Then she really looked at me, and in her tear-filled eyes, I saw my heartbreak reflected back. I wanted to yell. I wanted to break something. But I walked past her instead, heading to the bedroom. The smell of unfamiliar perfume clung to the air, searing itself into my memory. I closed the door. She followed. "Please, can we talk?" Her voice shook. I finally spoke, slow, measured. "Your friends told you to ignore me for a month. So I let them see what real silence looks like. Do you understand?" She nodded, tears streaming, guilt weighing down her every move. I didn't mean for it to get this far," she whispered. I leaned against the wall, staring at her, at every lie, every choice that brought us here. "And him? What about all the little signs I overlooked because I loved you?" She had no answer. The pain was sharp, bitter, but it brought clarity. The love was still there, painfully so. But the trust had shattered into pieces I wasn't ready to pick up. 4 days afterward, silence filled the spaces where our relationship used to live. No calls. No messages. Just the echo of what we'd been, drifting through empty rooms and unopened drawers. I learned to breathe around it, to live through it, but I couldn't unknow the truth. The twist wasn't only her betrayal. It was realizing my silence had exposed her guilt better than any confrontation ever could. I didn't need to explode. I didn't need to accuse. The truth revealed itself on its own. And in that brutal quiet, I found a strength I never knew I had. Weeks later, I packed my things and moved out. Boxed up the memories, carried them like weights in my chest. She called once, begging. I listened in silence, heartbroken but unmoved. Silence had already said everything. And now I'm sharing this story with you, my YouTube community, because your support is what allows me to tell these raw human stories. Thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting. Let's reach 5,000 subscribers so I can keep bringing you moments of tension, truth, and emotion.